Hello everyone, welcome back in my accountancy class for higher secondary first year commerce. So in our last class we have discussed some of the basic important terms that are useful for accounting and business, and I think all of you have viewed my video and find the exact meaning of the words. Okay, find the exact meaning of those terms that are most important for our business. Okay, and we have also learned in our last video what is the double entry system of bookkeeping. That bookkeeping means the whenever any person start a business, he doing continuously transaction, and in such a case it is not possible for him to keep all this transaction in his memory. So he had to record all this transaction in his books of accounts, and this process of recording is called bookkeeping. And when we classify the systems of bookkeeping, we find two systems, that is single entry system and double entry system. And about some basic terms that we have learned in the last class, we learned first one is the owner. Okay, first one is the proprietor. Okay, so proprietor means the owner of the business. Proprietor is one of the terms that we have learned in our last class. So proprietor means any person who start a business. That means the owner of the business is called proprietor. Okay, so a person can start a business, a single person can start a business, two-person can start a business, or more than two-person can start a business. In such a case, all these person who started a business are called proprietor. Okay, so proprietor means the person who start the business. Okay, next we learned what is capital. That means whenever any person decided to start a business, he needs certain amount of money, because without money no one can start a business, and the amount through which the person started his business is called capital. The amount through which the person commenced his business is called capital. That means person Mr. A started a business. Mr. A started a business with rupees 20,000. So in such a case, we can say that the capital of Mr. A is rupees 20,000, because any amount through which the person started his business is called capital. Okay, so capital can be money and capital can be asset. So what is asset, we will discuss it later. And another terms, the most important terms that we learned in our last class, one is transaction. Okay, so it is the most important in our business, in our accountancy and business, because whatever we are going to record is transaction. Because if we cannot measure it in terms of money, then we cannot call it transaction, because we know what is transaction. Transaction means exchange of goods and services measurable in terms of money. Suppose Mr. A, that person who started a business with 20,000, sell goods to another person, Mr. B, for rupees 30,000. Okay, same good he sell to B is 30,000, worth rupees 30,000. So in such a case we can say that it is a transaction, because it affects the financial position of both the person. And we know what is transaction. Transaction is exchange of goods and services measurable in terms of money, and transaction means any event that affects our financial position. Okay, so transaction comes from event that are of two types. One is monetary event and another is non-monetary event. So what is monetary event? Monetary event means, first, what is event? Event means anything that happens in business life. And when we classify event, we find there are two types of event. One is monetary event and another is non-monetary event. Okay, so non-monetary event are those events which cannot affect the financial position of the business. Like Mr. A is playing football. In such a case, it does not affect his financial position. Okay, but Mr. A is selling goods to Mr. B for rupees 30,000. It is a transaction and it is a monetary event too, because it affects the financial position of both A and B. So it is a transaction and it is an event, because those are the monetary events. We can call it as transaction. So these are the important terms that we have learned in our last class. And another two important terms, that debtor. Okay, we learned in our last class debtor. One is sundry debtor and another is sundry creditor. Okay, these are two most important terms for our business, because it is not possible for the business to sell goods all the times on cash. because in some cases the businessman have to sell their goods on credit. So credit means sell goods and which the amount will be received in the later date. So for example, Mr. A, the person who started a business earlier, sell goods to Mr. B. Sell goods to Mr. B for rupees 5,000 on credit. That means not cash transaction, on credit. That means the amount that Mr. A does not receive the amount because he will pay the amount to Mr. A in later date. So it is a credit transaction. So in such a case, if you can classify, you can analyze Mr. A sell goods to Mr. B for rupees 5,000. Okay, so what is sundry debtor? Sundry debtor means the person to whom we sell goods on credit. So Mr. A sell goods to Mr. B on credit. So Mr. B is a sundry debtor for Mr. A. Okay, and sundry creditor, what is sundry creditor? Who is sundry creditor? Sundry creditor means the person from whom we purchase goods on credit. So for Mr. B, Mr. A is a sundry creditor. So Mr. A is a sundry creditor for Mr. B and Mr. B sundry debtor for Mr. A. So Mr. A sell goods to B on credit, so Mr. B is sundry debtor, and Mr. B purchase goods from Mr. A, so Mr. A is sundry creditor. Okay, so in other example we can say that Mr. A purchase goods for Mr. X. Mr. A purchase goods from Mr. X on credit. So in that case we can say that Mr. X is sundry creditor for Mr. A and Mr. B sundry debtor for Mr. B, because Mr. A purchase goods from Mr. X on credit, so he's a sundry creditor for Mr. A, and Mr. A sell the same goods to Mr. B on credit, so Mr. B is a sundry debtor for Mr. A. So these are the two important terms that we learned in detail in our last class. So in today's class, so we are going to learn some other important terms in accountancy. So let's start our class. So two important terms, one is asset. Okay, one is assets. So another important term, one is that goods. Okay, so we know what is goods. Goods means any item which is purchased by the business for resale. Which is any item which is purchased by the business for resale. Suppose a businessman who deals in marker, in such a case marker is a good for him. Okay, but in my case I am using the goods, using the marker not for resale, using the marker for my class, so it is an asset for me. Okay, so we have to know the difference between goods and asset. Okay, so what is asset? Asset means anything. Asset means anything which is in the possession of business, which is in the possession of business or property of business. Okay, so asset means anything which is in the possession of business or property of a business. That means the business, that marker is possessed by me, so it is my asset or it is my property because I am using this. So whatever the things the business used in order to run its business is called property, is called asset. Okay, so for example assets, we can find the assets like in our business. First we find machinery. Okay, so machinery is an asset for the business because in machinery the business produces goods. Okay, next one is the furniture. Because whenever we start a business, whenever we run a business, we need not only goods, we need not only cash, we need certain furniture like chair, table, furniture and fittings, computer. So computer is also asset. Okay, so asset means anything which is used by the business, used by the business for its running, used by the business for its running. Anything which is used by the business for its running. So what is asset? Asset means anything which is used by the business, anything which is in the possession of the business, or asset means anything which is the property of the business. And remember, the asset in business is for use, not for selling, not for resale to another person. Okay, suppose a person dealing in computer, okay, dealing in computers. That means he sell computers to customer and purchase computers from another persons. In such a case, computer is a goods, okay, because he dealing in computers. So anything which is purchased by the business in order to resell, it is called goods. Okay, but the computer that he is using in his business, is called his asset. Using in his business is called asset. Okay, because the computer which is using by him in the business is not for resale, it's for recording the various transaction and recording another things. So it is used by him in the business, so it is an asset for him. So asset means anything which is used by the business for running the business continuously. Okay, so asset is not so for example, a person dealing in computers, in such a case, computer is a goods, not used. But the machinery that is used for producing goods is asset. Furniture which is used for decorating the business is asset. Computer for recording, it's also asset. So these are the assets, and there are some other assets like cash in hand. Okay, so it is another important asset. Okay, cash in hand. Okay, whenever any person start a business for rupees, in earlier example that a person started a business rupees 20,000, that means at the when after starting the business he has cash in hand amounted to rupees 5,000. That means after purchasing machinery, furniture, computer and goods, he have rupees 5,000 in his pocket. Okay, so this 5,000 is also his asset, because he will use this amount to purchase, use this amount to for any other purpose. Okay, so cash in hand is another example of asset. Cash at bank. Okay, cash at bank, we all have savings account. Like in my savings account there is 10,000, so if I can say that I have asset of rupees 10,000 in bank. So cash at bank, any amount which is deposited in cash at bank, or any amount which is in our bank account, we can say that it's our asset. So asset is our property. So we know what is asset. So asset means property of business. Now what is the classification of asset? So whenever we classify the asset, first we find fixed asset. Okay, so the term fixed we know. So fixed asset means any asset which is used by the business for a long period of time. Okay, I am telling again, the fixed asset means any asset which is used by the business for long period of time. Okay, for example, machinery. Okay, machinery that is used by the business for producing goods is not only for 1 month, is not only for 2 months, is not only for 1 year. It's maybe for 5 years, it's maybe for more than 5 years. So machinery is our fixed assets. Machinery is a fixed asset for the business, because this asset is used by the business for a long period of time. Next on fixed asset is furniture. Okay, furniture is also used by the business for decorating the business, for keep all his goods in the furniture in order to in order to sit, and etc. Okay, so furniture is also our fixed asset, because furniture is used not only for 1 month or not only for 2 months, because all the furniture or furnitures that are possessed by the business is used for a long period of time. Another important fixed asset is building. Another important fixed asset is building. Land and building. That means the point where one started a business, is that person's asset if it is owned by him. Okay, if it is on rent, then it is another case, but if it is his own land and building, so it is also his asset, because in that place or in that building he is doing business for a long period of time. So in one of the feature of business, we find continuity. That means business is not only for 1 day, business is not only for 2 days, or business is not only for 1 year. If there is no continuity, that means if there is no regularity in business, then we cannot call it as business. So when any person is doing business, he has a aim to do business for a long period of time. So the place where the building, the land where he started his business, where he doing his business, is also his asset, and this asset is used by him for a long period of time, so it is also his fixed asset. Okay, so these are another is computer, because computer is also used by the businessman for a long period of time in order to record all the transaction in it, in order to record all the stock items to him, okay, available to him. So it is also asset for him, because this computer is used, okay, not for resale. So computer is also a fixed asset. Okay, suppose I have a laptop, and the laptop I purchased not for using 1 year, that after 1 year I will throw it, I will continuously use it. Okay, so it is my fixed asset. The building where I am staying, it is also my fixed asset. So all the things, all the assets, all the items which is used by the business or any person for a long period of time is fixed asset. Okay, next classification is current asset. Okay, so here the term current does not mean electricity. Okay, clear? The current asset means those assets which are used by the business for a short period of time, or for a period of maximum 1 year. That means from 1 month, from 1 day to 365 days. Okay, that means for a period of 1 year. So those assets which can be converted into cash, within a period of 1 year, we can say that these assets are called current assets. Okay, for example, cash at bank is our current asset. The cash at bank is our current assets, because if we want that I have a rupees 5,000 in my bank account. Okay, so if I wish, then I can keep it here for a long period of time, for 5 years. But if I want, I can convert it into cash. That means I can withdraw it tomorrow. Okay, so cash at bank is the asset which can be converted into cash within a period of 1 year. So it is a current asset for me, and it is a current asset for the business also. Okay, next one is the cash in hand. Okay, so cash in hand is those assets which can be converted into cash and which is used by the business for a short period of time, for a period of less than 1 year, are called current assets. So cash in hand is also our current assets. Next current assets is stock. Okay, stock. So we know what is stock. Okay, suppose I have these three markers. Okay, so I have 5 markers and I have already used 2, and these are the remaining 3 markers. So these 3 markers are my stock. Okay, for example, a person is purchased 1,000 quantity of goods. 1,000 quantity of goods and sold, and in one day he's selling 800 sales. Okay, 800 quantity he sells, so remaining are 200. Okay, so these 200 before selling is stock. Okay, so if the business want, these 200s can be sold tomorrow or day after tomorrow or within a period of 1 year. So stock is another important current asset for the business. Another important current asset is sundry debtor. Okay, sundry debtor. Now you can say that how sundry debtor can be an asset. Okay, because sundry debtor means are the person to whom we sell goods on credit. That means a person Mr. A sell goods to Mr. B on credit for rupees 5,000. So that means that Mr. B will pay him in future date, but within a period of 1 year. Okay, so Mr. B will pay him to Mr. A, it is within a period of 1 year, but in future date. So in future date A will receive money from Mr. B, so it is a for Mr. A, Mr. B is a asset, so he will pay the amount within a period of 1 year, so it is a current asset for Mr. A. So sundry debtor means to whom we sell goods on credit. That means I am selling goods to another person and he will pay me that amount after 3 months. So up to 3 months he is my sundry debtors or he is my current asset, because after 3 months I can convert this transaction on credit into cash, so it is also my current asset. Okay, so these are the two important classification of asset. Again, we can classify asset into two parts. One is tangible asset. Another is intangible asset. Okay, so tangible assets, these are another two classification of assets in business or in our life. The first one is the tangible assets. So tangible asset means the assets which can we see, the asset which can we touch, and the asset which can be feel. Okay, so we can say that tangible assets like furniture. Okay, next one of the tangible asset is machinery. Another important tangible assets is building, land, cash in hand, etc. Okay, so tangible assets means which can be seen, which can be touched, and which can have physical existence. Okay, so those assets which can be touched, which can be seen, which can have physical existence are called tangible assets, like furniture, because furniture can be seen, furniture can be touched, and furniture have physical existence. Next, machinery, in the same way like furniture, we can see it, we can feel it, we can touch it, and which can have physical existence. So all these assets are under tangible assets, because all these assets qualifies the characteristics of tangible assets, that can be seen, that can be touched, and that can have physical existence. So tangible assets are those assets which can be touched, seen, and have physical existence. Okay, next one is the if tangible assets can be seen, can have physical existence, and can we touch, then what is intangible assets? So intangible assets means those assets which cannot be seen, which cannot be touched, and which don't have any physical existence. And one of the important example of tangible asset is goodwill. Okay, goodwill. Then now we can say Now you have confusion what is goodwill. Okay, so goodwill means the name and fame of the business. The goodwill means the name and fame of the business. Suppose there is two shoe stores. Okay, two shoe stores. There is two shoe stores. Okay, one is Bata and another is anything like that we have never heard the term, never heard the name of that product. Okay, so now we can see that where we will go to purchase shoe, and we know where we'll go to Bata, because we know the Bata is good for selling. Bata have sold quality types of goods. Bata will provide us discount and etc. So the name and fame which is responsible for earning more profit for the business is called goodwill. Okay, so goodwill is one of the important intangible assets, and it is most important asset for the business. And this goodwill we cannot see in Bata. We cannot see any type of goodwill like the big board or big big physical characteristics like goodwill. Okay, so it cannot be seen or it cannot be touched, but we can feel that Bata have goodwill, so more customers will go to Bata to purchase products. Okay, so Bata have goodwill, and goodwill means the name and fame of the business. So it is important intangible asset for business. So some of the important intangible assets is goodwill, patent, copyright. Okay, so these are the terms you will know in later in our next classes, or whenever we will go we will promote it to the upper classes. But for now, for example, some of the examples of intangible assets are goodwill, patents and copyrights. Okay, so in asset there are two types. One is fixed assets and another is current assets. Fixed asset means the asset which is used by the business for a long period of time, and current assets are those assets which can be converted into cash within a period of 1 year. That means with for current assets the maximum limit is 1 year. Okay, and another classification is tangible assets and intangible assets. Tangible assets are those assets which can be seen, which can be touched and which have physical existence, and intangible assets are those assets which cannot be seen, cannot be touched and don't have physical existence, but we can feel, like goodwill and name and fame of anything. Okay, so this is what all about assets. Now we will going to learn another important term, that is liabilities. Okay, that is liabilities. Okay, so if asset is the property of business, then liability means the responsibility and obligation of business. The liabilities means responsibility or obligation of business. So in Bengali we can say that it is a daitya. Okay, that means the responsibility of the business. So what is liabilities? Liabilities is one kind of responsibility for the business or one kind of obligation for the business. So what is liabilities? Liabilities means, what is liabilities? Liabilities means any amount. Liabilities means any amount which is required to be paid, which is required to be paid by the business, in future date. So what is liabilities? Liabilities means any amount which is required to be paid by the business. In our asset, what is asset? With the things that we use in our business, or the any amount which we will receive from other person. So in liability means or responsibility and obligation, that means it is the responsibility of business to pay amount to any other person or any other institution. Okay, so one of the important example of bank loan. Okay, that is the liability of the business. What is liability? So for example, bank loan, that means a business, the businessman taken a loan for rupees 1 lakh from SBI. Okay, so in such a case he will need to repay this amount to the bank after certain period of time, because it is a loan. And what is loan? Loan means any amount which we will take from another person or from bank or from any other organization. So the bank loan have to be repaid by the business, or this amount which we will taken from bank or any other person, we have to repay him at later date. So it is a liability for me. And in such a case, if any business take a loan from any other person or from bank, so it is a liability for him, because after certain period of time he need to repay this amount to that person. Okay, so what is liability? Liability means any amount which is required to be paid by the business, which is required to be paid by the business in future. So it is an obligation for the business, or it is a responsibility for the business. And again, if we classify liabilities, then we also find long-term liabilities. One is long-term liabilities or fixed liabilities. Long-term liabilities or fixed liabilities. Okay, so what is long-term liabilities? There are two classifications mainly. One is long-term or fixed liabilities, and another is current liabilities, like current assets. Current liabilities. Okay, so what is long-term liabilities and what is fixed liabilities? The liabilities which are required to be paid, after certain period of time, or we can say that after 5 years, that means more than 1 year. Okay, like bank loan. So bank loan is taken for normally for 5 years, 10 years, 5 years, 10 years. Okay, so whenever we need to pay the bank loan, we need more time. So long-term liabilities or fixed liabilities are those liabilities which are required to be paid over a longer period of time, usually more than 1 year. That whenever we need to pay the amount to any other person for over a longer period of time, that for more than 1 year, we can say that this liability is our long-term liability or fixed liability. Because for example, I am taking a loan from SBI worth rupees 10 lakh, and I cannot repay it within a period of 1 year. I need 5 years or more than 5 years to repay this amount. So it is a fixed liability or long-term liability for me. And current liabilities means if more than 1 year is a long-term liability, so within 1 year it is called current liability. So current liability means that any liability or any amount which is required to be paid within a period of 1 year is called current liabilities. The example is sundry creditor. So what is sundry creditor? Sundry creditor means from whom we purchase goods on credit. That means the person who started business is A, and he purchased goods from Mr. X on credit. So it is the responsibility of Mr. A to pay Mr. X, but in future date, so after 3 months, he will pay to Mr. X. Okay, so he purchased goods on credit and promised to pay Mr. X after a period of 3 months. So it is a current liability. Because Mr. A will pay this amount to Mr. X within a period of 1 year. So any liability or any amount which is required to be paid over a longer period of time, it is usually more than 1 year, we can say it is fixed liabilities or long-term liabilities. And any liability which is required less than 1 year, which is required to be paid within a period of 1 year, it can be called current liabilities. For example, sundry creditor, that means from whom we purchase goods and paid, and on after 3 months or after 2 months or within a period of 1 year we have to pay this amount to that person. So these are the two important things that we learned today. One is asset and another is liabilities. And in assets we type 4 classification, and in liabilities normally there is 2 types of classification. One is current liabilities and another is fixed liabilities. So I think all of you have understood these two concepts, and these are the two important concepts that we need in our accountancy. And whenever we will going to practical solution, that is journal and ledger and other things, we need the proper definition of proper meaning of assets and liabilities. So in our next class we will discuss some other important terms. So till then, stay safe and stay at home.